And we're very excited to have Brian Shockey, past president AOH, and the chairman of the committee, Bernie Petty. And I'll start with Brian. Brian, talk about Irish Day 2012. What can the people of Long Beach expect with the parade, festivities, and everything that will take place with Irish Day here in 2012 in Long Beach?
Well, thanks again, Howie, for having us on. As you know, the Irish Day Parade and Festival is October 6th. It starts Saturday at 8 o'clock, morning mass, Sacred Heart Church in Island Park. 9 o'clock we have a breakfast at the VFW Hall on 675 West Park Avenue in Long Beach. And the parade will kick off at 11 a.m., Howie. 11 a.m. this year. Let's see, Long Beach made us move up the time of the parade, so the parade will kick off at 11. Grand Marshal is Mrs. Veronica Danker. She's the principal of Long Beach Catholic Regional School. Our aides are Christopher Jordan. He owns Chris Jordan Funeral in Island Park. Sean Schaefer, our gracious host over here at Pecnic and Schaefer. Billy Wallenmeyer and Mark McCluskey.
Bernie, talk about all the work that you guys do, because dealing with all the people that are marching in the parade. Talk about all the work that goes into making Irish Day special for everyone here in Long Beach.
Thank you, Howie. We started the process of starting working on this year's parade, I would say the third week of May. It traditionally takes us about 5 months to get ready for the parade. Unfortunately, around August 23rd, we had been asked by City Hall to come upstairs and have a meeting about the impending parade. And we were presented with a couple of different obstacles that the city had felt that they needed to address prior to this parade. One was the issue of the police overtime. Who was going to pay for that? And the quality of life issues. And with 5 weeks left, after a lot of things were set in place, we had already had printed posters. There were, the announcement of Grand Marshal. We were quite concerned. So what we decided to do is we had to go back. We needed help. Sean Schaefer, who's also a Hibernian, and as Brian said, his name was also one of the honored men of the year for 2012. We had to put together a formulated plan, and Johnny Gallagher from Minnesota's and some of the other members of the bars and restaurants had sat down and we had to come up with an idea. The city of Long Beach wanted 25 grand from us, Hibernians or whomever, to help offset the cost of the police overtime from last year. So we collectively got everything together. There were certain other concessions that were made to the city as far as the bars closing at 1 o'clock. The bars and restaurants and business owners of the West End collectively got together and came up with the 25 grand. And it looks like we're going to have Irish Day, So we're all very pleased and very happy. And, we're going to try to continue this festival the way it's been for the 23rd year.
That's awesome. Brian, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that the first Irish Day I attended, the Grand Marshal was Larry Elovich, and I talked to Assemblyman Wiesenberg, and he said that being the first non-Catholic to be the Grand Marshal was one of the greatest honors of his life, and it made him have so much pride. Talk about the passing of Larry Elovich and how proud you were to make him the Grand Marshal.
Thanks, Howie. As you know, Larry Elovich was a legend down here in Long Beach in politics. He was a legend down here in politics. I'm getting told how to sit in the chair. But he was a legend down here in politics. He crossed all ethnic barriers, all religious barriers. Larry was a friend to the AOH. He was a good friend to everybody here in Long Beach. He'd be sorely missed. He always told me that was his biggest thrill. He was already an aide back a few years back. When I called him up and told him he was going to be the Grand Marshal, he said, Brian, it's the happiest day of my life. Really great. He'll be missed down here in Long Beach. Mr. Long Beach will be missed.
Absolutely. Bernie, I love the parade, but I have to say there's one part of the parade which is this is my favorite. I love when the Hagen School of Irish Dance is coming down, and I've worked a lot with them, especially, I've gone to see them dance at senior citizens at senior homes, and they bring so much joy to the seniors. But I think, to me, that's really one of the cherished moments, to see these girls dancing. They're really special, the Hagen School of Irish Dances.
Absolutely, Howie. you know, that's what I think a lot of people in this town, and that's in the movement of this parade this year, we're trying to bring this back to Irish culture, you know, so the people of this town can enjoy the music, the entertainment, the dance of the Irish, and get away from a little bit more of the, you know, obsessive drinking, the partying. It's, you know, it's a little bit more than that, than being Irish. And, you know, that's what we hope to bring back in some many years to come, a little bit more better for the, you know, a little bit more of a better environment for this community.
Absolutely. And Brian, from being the host of the show, I know I can speak for all my staff members, Walter, Steve, Rocco, we are so thrilled to be able to march in this year's Irish Day Parade. It's made a big impact on us, and we're really looking forward to being a part of the parade this year.
Larry must have knocked that sound down. Larry's in the room, the sign just came out. Yeah, Howie, it's a pleasure to have you marching. I mean, your show reaches so many people here in Long Beach. You know, it's a great service to all the nonprofit charities. You know, you get people form on Wednesday nights here at Pecnic and Schaefer. But before I close, you can follow us on our website. It's www.longbeachirishday.org, or on Facebook, facebook.com/Long Beach Irish Day /AOH Division 17. We're on Twitter, Long Beach LB Irish Day. And Howie, I'm looking forward to you showing up. Make sure that green tie is...
Oh, we'll have the tie for sure.
Make sure you have your famous green tie on.
It's the first time to tie the thing on. First time that ever fell down. All right. Another happening. Let's give it up for AOH and the Irish Day Parade. Bernie, we'll see you guys. Oh, Brian, where do we meet on Saturday?
Where do you meet?
Yeah. Where do we?
Well, the parade starts at Washington Park. I'll email you.
Yeah, okay. Excellent.
Halftime Howie, your first year launching. Make sure you guys stay in step.
And I'll have my beautiful Irish tie on.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. Let's give it up again for Irish Day.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it
very much.
Thank you very much. We're really looking forward to it.
guys.
All right.
Looking forward to joining you.
All right. Excellent. Thank you, Brian. And for your sake, good luck with the Yankees.
Yeah.
Brian is a huge Yankee fan. I'm sure he expects them to win another championship.
I'm sorry to tell you, Boston's losing 3-1 now. Howie, I was at the game last night.
5-1.
It's 5-1. Thank you.
But maybe we can get rid of Bobby Valentine, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it's all Bobby Valentine's fault.
He's his last day. Goodbye.
Boston Red Sox, overpaid babies. That's all they are.
Last place this year, too. A disgrace.
Take it for a cone fight for no reason.
That's right. You're right. All right. You know, you grow up in a town, we're in Long Beach, and you grow up with a dream. For Stephen Marrow, it was a dream to have this movie on the big screen. And now it's a reality. And with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to our ace movie reviewer, the one and only Rocco Pasafumi, who will interview Stephen Marrow and talk about his fabulous film, Broadway's Finest. Take it away, Rocco.
Thank you very much, Howie. It gives me great pleasure to have Stephen Marrow sitting next to me. His movie has been shown in film festivals like Hills Film Festival, Long Island International, Vision Fest, Prescott, and it just won Best Feature Film over at Toronto Independent Film. So I saw the movie, I thought it was fantastic. The plot of the movie regards three men who are actors who want to, who want to make it in the world of theater. So they devise a way to kind of create their own, their own drama, their own situation by actually becoming fake police officers and having to bust a drug dealer to do that. So I guess the first thing I'd like to start off with you, Stephen, is how did you get started as a filmmaker, and what made you say this is what you wanted to do with your life?
Well, I'd like to thank you for having me, Rocco, and I'd like to thank Mr. Halftime Howie for having me on the show. It's a pleasure to be here. In answer to your question, since I was a kid, I was always interested in movies. I was always a fan. When I was in high school, I actually would make little films for my class projects. And as I got older, I ended up going to film school, and that just ended up started working in the film business, and I've always been interested in making movies.
This is actually, Broadway's Finest is actually his debut feature film. I know that you have done some short films in the past, and what was the big difference between doing a short film versus doing a feature film, and what was the impetus for this particular film?
Well, the big difference between doing a short film and a feature film is you could probably film a short film, which most of them should be around 10 minutes or 15 minutes long. You can probably do that in 2 or 3 days. When you do a feature film, you're working probably 20 days, maybe 22, 23, 24 days. So a lot more can go wrong. And when you do an independent movie, obviously you have a very disciplined budget. So when things go wrong, it usually turns into a money problem and there's a lot of stress. So that's really the major difference. As far as stories are concerned, you have to have a better story, a more intriguing story, obviously, because you're asking an audience to pay attention to your film for at least 90 minutes, where a short film, you can have a short film for 5 minutes, and obviously it takes a lot more production value, a lot more better acting, better production value to make a longer movie.
The film is definitely intriguing, so you definitely did a very good job with that. What I wanted to ask, first of all, was how did you create this story? What was the vision behind this particular story?
The inspiration for the story came basically from 3 places. One, a newspaper article. The second, from the time that I spent working as a director in the actor studio in New York City. And the third element to the story, or inspiration for the story, was my personal history of just being in show business for the last 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah, there's a lot of ambition steeped into this movie. The film stars are Nick Cornish, who's been in Gossip Girl and Confessions of a Shopaholic, Adam Stork, who's been in Death Becomes Her, Mystic Pizza, and The Stand, and John Lavelle, who's been in The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, At All My Children, NCIS. Talk about how you got these three men as your central characters in this piece.
Well, the process is, I guess, sort of similar to most films. We hired a casting director, and then over the period of about 3 or 4 months, we saw hundreds of actors, and in the end, I thought that these 3 actors would be perfect for the roles.
You talked about the difficulties of shooting a feature film. You shot a lot of this in the city, first and foremost. What were the most difficult aspects of shooting this film, particularly shooting in the city?
Well, quite frankly, shooting in the city, if you're prepared and you know what you need to get done, is not that difficult. The hardest aspect of shooting this film was that out of the 22 shooting days, it rained for 18 days. So usually we would get up and we were already an hour behind schedule because it was raining. I believe that was the rainiest June in the history of Junes. So that was really the big hurdle to get over.
Also, you shot I noticed that you shot some of the film in Long Beach. Discuss with us what parts of Long Beach you shot for this film.
Well, actually, one of the best one of the best scenes in the film was shot in the Long Beach firehouse. We also were able to utilize Long Beach Hospital, and we also were able to utilize a couple of private locations. And the thing that was terrific about Long Beach is they gave us a great amount of assistance. And quite frankly, for independent films where you have a limited budget, being able to get some assistance from a city like Long Beach really helped out. And those scenes, as I said, are some of the best scenes in the movie.
The next thing I would like to go into would be, what was the fact that you have an interesting way of telling the story. You're very stylish with dialogue, and also you have all these twists and turns that are just incredible. I mean, for anybody who is interested in seeing this is definitely a lot of intriguing stuff to go into. So, who are your filmmaking inspirations in creating this world?
Well, some of the directors that I admire, I've always admired a lot of the directors from the 30s and 40s, Alfred Hitchcock, Frank Capra, Howard Hawks, Michael Cortez, Victor Fleming, those guys who worked in the 30s and 40s did a terrific job. But this particular film, when I was making it, I had Sidney Lumet in mind. He did Dog Day Afternoon and Serpico and 12 Angry Men, and Sidney used to do a tremendous job making these New York films with New York characters, and in a lot of ways that's the type of film that I aspired to make.
You've had all the success from the film festivals. What is next, or what you hope to have next coming from the success of Broadway's Finest?
Well, as you know, they're opening the film this Friday at the Melbourne Cinema. And then next week it's going to be opened in Arizona. So we're hoping that the public finds this movie, and then we can have a national release. Obviously, all filmmakers want to get their films on as many screens as possible, and they want as many people as possible to see them. So that's our ultimate goal.
Let's also the acting choices that you have. I feel like one of the other aspects of the film that really works is that each main character has like a kind of, you know, the right archetype. This one character, Goldstone, played by John Lovello, he's like the brains. Nick Cornish's character, Willie, he's like kind of the pretty boy. And Adam Stork, particularly, who's like this character named Lewis, he kind of blows me away because he's like very larger than life, he's very charismatic, but he's also very troubled and very heavy. So talk about like how you were able to, you know, like what the mindset behind creating all the balance for these three characters.
Well, I mean, those are the characters that I wrote for the story, and each one of them represents something, and I think you've highlighted what they represent. As far as basically when you're doing the casting, as all talented actors that come in for these roles, so you look for somebody that maybe has a little bit of that character in the actor, and I think that's probably why you find these characters so real and believable.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm sorry. Broadway's Finest is going to be opening, like he said, Friday at Malvern Cinema. It's going to be opening Friday and Saturday after the 7:40 show, and there'll be questions and answers with filmmakers and the cast, and then also there will be questions and answers with filmmakers and the cast on Sunday at 3:10. So come down. It's a fantastic film. I really feel like there's a lot of strong passion behind this movie, and there's a lot of something that everybody, especially from New York, will really appreciate.
Okay. And I just want to say my wife saw it at the Belmore Film Festival, loved it, and I'm going to see it Friday in Melbourne. Pumped. Let's give it up to Long Beach's own Stephen Mello! Broadway's Finest! Great job, my Rocco! All right. Now it is my pleasure. You ever heard the expression going green? Well, going green is a great expression, but it's good because it's healthy. Good job. I'll see you Friday. I'll be in touch. But Donna Martini is the Nassau County Ambassador to Wellness here in Long Island. And Donna, it's a pleasure meeting you. It's a pleasure having you on the show. And talk about your wellness program, because I really think it's going to make a big impact here in Long Island, especially with the kids.
Thanks, Howie. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, this program is about economic development, it's about wellness, it's about community, it's about getting every single person in schools and in businesses on board with the wellness program. So in order to do that, we have to bring in businesses with green schools. We have to educate them on how wellness and green pays off. So the program is multi-spectrum. We have, on the one end, getting wellness practitioners together, which tonight we have one actually. We have a psychologist here. So anyone in the wellness and green movement who wants to be able to present to businesses, do workplace or school wellness, can contact me at donna@donnamartini.com, and there's a seminar coming up where we're going to explain the entire program. This is hosted by me and the county at the Plainview Marriott. And on the other end, on the flip side, we're doing a movie right now, a video, talk about short movies. We're hoping it's only going to be 8 or 9 minutes because people get bored after that when we're talking about education. But this is going to be showing specifically all the scientific evidence on how wellness and green pays off. And some programs are 3 to 1, 6 to 1, so for every dollar you're spending, you're getting back $6 as a business owner.
We were talking before the show that, by the way, folks, you're listening out there, my article will be in the Herald tomorrow, so check it out. The whole article is devoted to the project we have coming up, which we're going to start next week at Hub Billiards in Island Park. We're going to be working with 30 brilliant 4th graders from the LOC program here in Long Beach, and they're going to be putting together a skit of working with our advertising and marketing campaign, and these kids are going to be very creative. But Donna, you talked about, you have a program, Don't Waste Your Life, and I think that's a perfect vehicle to get these kids involved, to talk about that kids should not do alcohol, not do drugs, not do smoking. Talk about this program and the fact that kids can work with the slogans and the difference we can all make working together.
Well, I am a writer and I'm very creative. And I know with children, they learn best when they're doing multi things. It's not just about one. You sit there and listen to a lecture, how much of it you're going to really take in. So in order to get kids to really see and to personify what drugs, alcohol, and smoking does, we're trying to get them to do a pictorial rendering, a slogan, a campaign, like an ad campaign for each slogan. So don't waste your life is for drugs. Don't waste your breath is for smoking. Don't throw your life away for alcohol. And whatever pictorial wins, we're going to have a contest between the kids in the school and then between different schools. And they'll be able to take that winning campaign and they'll paint it on the side of a waste container, a 30-yard dumpster. So now you have more than just the idea of wasting your life. You have it shown in live form. And this is going to involve families because kids will be able to bring it home and the families can get involved with slogans. It's not about just kids, everyone, grandparents, little ones will all be involved so they can watch their slogan drive down the street in a waste container. And hopefully that'll get kids thinking about it too.
Well, Donna, we've invited you to our final presentation, which we're going to do with Hub Billiards on November 14th. And we're going to introduce you to Beverly Bertonetti and Caitlin Fuentes, who are the teachers in the LOC program, and also Judy Vining, who's the director of the Long Beach Coalition to Prevent Underage Drinking. And I'm so excited to be able to put you together with Judy and Beverly and Caitlin and get the kids involved in this, because I think it's going to be huge here in Long Beach, especially with the message that we can get these kids a slogan to prevent drinking and alcohol. So I think it's going to be fabulous.
Yeah, so we can get the police department involved because they're out at their wits' end trying to solve the issues. And you've told me before that your statistics here are really bad, that it's starting to become epidemic. So prevention's everything. If we get them young, if we can bring the little ones in all the way through the high school, because the little ones can win this campaign, but the high schools can paint it. Right. So everyone participates. Right.
Awesome. All right, we're going to take a break. We got the football players in. Let's get the football players in. All right. After the break, we're going to have the undefeated Long Beach Football Marines, who this Friday at homecoming absolutely annihilated Westbury. Trevor, you there? All right, we're going to play the little fun we had with the football team. But after the break, we're going to meet the Long Beach Football Marines, who are 4-0. And this Saturday, they're going to take on New Hyde Park. And after they blitz New Hyde Park, the showdown a week from Friday at Long Beach between undefeated Long Beach and undefeated Garden City. Maybe the biggest game in Long Beach in the last 50 years. So, we're talking Long Beach Marine football after the break. This is Halftime Howie coming to you live from the prestigious law offices of Pecknick, and Schaefer in the wild west end of Long Beach, home of the island's first and oldest radio station, 1240 AM,